Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and to continue on with this, about what I've been making videos on lately, is the E-Beggars, there's so many names for them, hustlers that tend to brag about hustling, and, act like it's all innocent when it's not, and they do that little twinkle, and to let you know that they know that it's not all that good. The hustle, the gig workers, they're hustling. Yeah, and they're doing things that are, some of them, dirty, underhanded, this kind of thing. And, but just some of them are just e-beggars that they just happen to do the gig work. And these can be in different genres too, like they can be in food delivery. Not food delivery, they can be doing in food delivery genre, but also in RV. There are RVers who do food delivery. Or then there's some of them they don't. I mean, I've started noticing. Now I had my first channel. August will be 11 years. Okay, and I have watched a lot of different genres during that time, and RV was one of them. And I mean, I saw all different kinds, but I never saw food delivery until just recently, like this year. The people who are RVers doing food delivery. Now, for food delivery itself, I have seen since probably 2018, maybe even, just give or take, I don't know. And I do it myself, for the health insurance, not through them, not through any of them, but through the Affordable Care. And I have to work. That's the short version. I'm not going to go into details. Done it plenty. But anyway, some of what I see, and like I said, it doesn't even have to be food delivery. It could be other things. Lots of other genres. And all of them, everyone that I have seen, well, I can't say every one of them, but quite many of them have some form of this, of people getting money and conning their audiences, not necessarily their subscribers, but their audiences on whatever platform. Okay, you hear about some from a different platform. They say, oh, if you go and watch them over on so and so, you'll see that this is what they do. They get people to go there, and blah 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 blah. Now, it's not everybody. And it's just that those, of course, stick out because I do my second channel, which this month would be 10 years that I was making videos on things like people who are narcissistic, and people who are toxic people, on and on, all the cluster B and all this. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. So, of course, I see this kind of stuff. I recognize it. I was trained to. Seriously, I was a career student over 20 years. Yeah, at university. So, hey. But anyway. So when I see this, so all these years, I've pretty much every year, give something. There might have been a time I didn't, and there may have been a time twice in a year. So, but I'd say on average, once a year, I would make videos about these e-beggars and the people who are conning their just all around. They're conning their audience into giving them money. Even some of them will lie so much about their health. One of the first ones I had heard of, I heard of, and I looked at it, and it was a woman saying she had cancer when she didn't. Okay, and that was just one that lied about her health. Before then, of course, I had seen other ones that were just lie about anything. Like, oh, my grandma needs a radiator. She's going to freeze this summer. I tried to add a little accent to it, but that wasn't the accent I should have added to it, actually. But, yeah, I mean, lie about anything. Oh, I have a flat tire on my RV, and I don't have the money to fix it. And here's my PayPal number, that kind of stuff. And people will just throw a whole lot of money at them, and then the next thing you see, they got the new tire, but they also had all this. They went out to eat, and they bought groceries that were real expensive stuff, and next thing you know, they had another problem. Just like next week, oh, another one. Oh, my other tire. Or my this doesn't work. Or that the radiator, or I don't even know how radiators work anymore. But, you know, something wrong with the engine or something wrong with something. They needed more money. My husband left me. That was one. And it turned out to be a lie, by the way. And I have so many different types. And then there's the ones that they just pounce, that they talk bad about, and they actually name them. I never do. They talk bad about the people who are grifters and whatever. You know, the con artists, the scammers, the E-Beggars. They talk bad about them. They point out the person's name, channel name, whatever they have that identifies them. And they themselves, the ones pointing this out, are making money off of it. You see what I'm saying? They're making money, making fun of these other people. So they're just as much as grifters in my book as the other ones. You know, con artists, just the same. Okay, and years later you can go back and look, and they're still doing it. They might have changed people because that other person may have quit, but generally both sides are still going. That's been my experience. I'm not saying it would be yours. It was just mine. And some of them, you know, I would forget their channel names and such over these 10, 11, almost going on 11 years. But I think the first one left, and I did a video, and I never said her name, nothing, but she wrote me and say, well, I have to do this because of this. No, she didn't. She was just one of those E-Beggars. And she didn't, and she quit. She stopped doing it. Yeah, because, you know, the thing about it is that other people, you know, you might not feel like other people are catching on, but they do. Of course, you're not the only one. I'm not the only one who's catching on. You know, in any of these. I just talk about the behavior. I don't talk about the particular channel or the particular person. No, I don't do that. That's like gossip to me. I'm not that type. So I just talk about the behaviors. And there's like so scripted. You know, I'm giving doing this part again about why. I mean, this is bad because there are some people who are very vulnerable, and they really can't afford even a couple of dollars, but they'll send that couple of dollars. Hey, been there, done that. I've been there, done that when I was young. Seriously. When Adam and I married when I was 18. And man, we had it rough at first. You know, you can never, you know, I learned in life that you can never say it's not going to be rough tomorrow, because things can happen like you wouldn't believe. It happened to me and Adam over the years. But generally it's been, you know, it has improved overall, but rough. We didn't have even like a quarter when we were young. For my first Valentine's Day, he went and bought one of those, it was a quarter then, boxes of, what are they called? Sweet tarts or something like that? What is it? I forgot, but the ones that have little things on them like I do or something. That's what I got for our first Valentine day together. Yeah, seriously, it was rough. I remember us going to the store and trying to make a decision on what we wanted. Did we want a soda, or did we want, you know, seriously, or this, you know, one, we had enough money, like $1 or $2 for one or the other. That was rough. So there are people out there that can be, you know, people who live on a fixed income. But these E-Beggars, they don't care. They say, hey, if it's something they want to donate, they're donating. No, you're conning them. You're a master manipulator. You know, you're never going to hear those words come out of their mouth unless they're talking bad about somebody else. But the ones I think are the lowest of the low is the ones that use their health Now, especially like I'm going through all these health problems, which you don't see any PayPal, nothing like that for me ever. Okay. And plus I cut it off to where there's no email address and nobody can reach me like that. If you're going to reach me, you're going to leave a comment. That's it. And I have my comments set to where that I have to approve them, and apparently I'm not approving them fast enough. So I seldom get comments as it is. So yeah. But anyway, I mean, I'm not big like these other ones. I have no intention of that. I don't want to tempt fate, like I've said in other videos. Never say, oh, my life, I would never have to do that, because you never know. I'm one to say that. Like I said, I've had it really rough in my life when I was young. So, and then you can go and you work yourself up to a certain stage in life, and then bam, something bad happened. That's happened. So don't tempt fate. I don't believe in that kind of thing, but I still will say, I will not tempt fate. You know, but anyway. But to watch the people who are using, like one of them, she seems to be saying some of the same things that I have said, and I know that she knows I watch her, or did, because I had commented on one of hers, and that's yeah. I've seen the kind that will take anything from anybody. There is one woman, she's closer to my age, and I've seen really young women talk bad about her because they see what she's doing. She's a con artist. So many of them. And some that they don't really see it at first as it's a bad thing. And then, you know, like they like somebody who's sarcastic or who's fighting against this. But what they don't realize is at first, it's just the way that they're conning people. Because people like to see attitude, and they get their kind of a thrill out of the attitude. When in reality, then they start bad-mouthing their audience, but the audience, not all of them realize it. You know, they're subscribers. And that's what they're doing. They're putting all of you under the same umbrella. And they think that they're better than all of their audience. I'm serious. It's so scripted. But anyway, like I was saying, I really think that the lowest of the low is the ones that make up fake health conditions. They're all low to me, all of them. You know, who are just master manipulators. But you know, to use your health, so you know, to make up something about your health, when there are actually people out there that have these problems, and you're making it sound like, oh, now there are people there who are real out there. They have their, what are those things called, GoFundMe or whatever, and they're for real. They can show the actual things from the doctor's office. Although those can be whatever, you know. But yeah, they can show the proof. But no, they just find somebody and hear about some situation. Say, oh, I'm going to use that one. Why is do you see that it seems like it's moving. It is, isn't it? That's weird. It's never done that before. Yeah, I used my cell phone to make these videos. I have considered getting one of those GoPros more than once. And I might actually do it if my... See, now I'm going to start sounding like them, so strike that. I had planned on actually, when I got this health insurance, I had planned on paying for it. Outright, you know, my own money, pay for it. And they said, you can't do that. You have to work, and you have to show that you're working. So I chose to do the only thing I thought I could, because I had edema really bad for like 2 straight years. And the doctors have said, whoa, this is the latest, said 2 years. I said, yeah, I've been complaining about it for 2 years. Various doctors changed, switched doctors, all that. Hospital people, all this stuff. But like I said, you never see a PayPal or, okay, I'm probably going to say one of them wrong, but a Cash App, and what is the other one? Venmo? I don't know. I don't have any of those. So it would never be up there. You know, so somebody like me, this is real. They're making it so bad. You know, like a person can't fill good about talking about it. But I still do. I don't care. You know, I've seen this, that's kind of trash to me. You know, not trash isn't literal trash, but, you know, because okay, I probably need to go back inside. Not well today. It was a bad day. But you know what I mean. I'm not saying literal trash. You don't dehumanize people. What is my neighbor doing? Now I'm starting to act like them. The ones that watch me. I'm going to watch you back. Oh, they do. Anyway, I'm just rambling. But yeah. To get back to this, I just think that the lowest of the low is to make up some story about your health. To just get money off of people who probably cannot afford it. To even send you $2, but you don't care because you don't feel like you should have to work and to support yourself. You know, you do so much online that you deserve for them to pay for everything for you. God, seriously. Now that is bad. That is so bad. And if they have kids, a kid or kids, and this is what they're teaching their children, you know, that the world owes you something. I grew up with what we were taught is the world owes you nothing. But these days they want to say the world owes me everything. It's so sick. But I have noticed, yep, just as usual, other people are seeing it, other people are protesting, and that's sometimes whenever that person goes into hiding for a while, then comes back later when they think that all their audience has left and they're not going to be bothered by the same people pouncing on them. But that never works because the same people come back around. You know what I'm saying? Generally, somebody's going to remember them. Not the same, not all of them. Somebody's going to remember them. And still subscribe to them or something like that. And it's just waiting. So they're waiting. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. It's going to start getting dark. It's 7:22, and I've got to take a medication, Lasix, and go from there. Talk to you on another video. Bye.